Back in 1903, I.J. Burke opened a Ford dealership, and his policy was to give his friends and neighbors the best possible deals and service. Today, 71 years later, the Burke family is still selling Ford cars and trucks. A lot of Ford cars and trucks, and Mercurys and Lincolns too. And the policy is still the same. Whether you need a new family car, a personal luxury car, a pickup, a heavy-duty truck, an Eldorado camper, or a ready-haul utility or grain trailer, give Burke Ford a try before you buy. Burke Ford in Perry and Rippey.
Back when bleach was invented, it was thought to be such strong medicine it was sold in a pharmacy. It was a cure-all for any laundry problem. In fact, women depended on bleach for the next 80 years, until complications set in. Then a whole new cure was needed, so we invented Boratine Plus, the bleach substitute. It's the perfect remedy for taking out dirt and most stains without hurting colors or fabrics. Boratine Plus, the bleach substitute.
A new series of political telecasts, prelude to the November 5th election, begins tonight. Watch Paul Rhodes and candidates for the Polk County State Senate race tonight at 7 here on TV8.
This is TV8. KCCI-TV, Des Moines.
Reaction is favorable to the vice president designate, and warrants are issued for the killing of the American ambassador yesterday.
It'll be sunny, windy, and hot today with some showers tonight.
TV8 News. Live from TV8 Center in Des Moines, today's news, weather, and markets. Here's Rick Fredericksen.
Good afternoon. America has a new vice president now after an 11-day search by President Ford. And as it turns out, the choice is one of the men considered to be among the favorites all along. Barry Seraphin reports.
President Ford described his decision on a vice presidential nominee as a tough call, but it was not a big surprise when he brought former New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller into the White House Oval Office, where congressional leaders and cabinet members were on hand for the official announcement.
Very thoughtful process. I have made the choice, and that choice is Nelson Rockefeller of New York State. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you a good partner for me, and I think a good partner for our country and the world. So I now announce officially that I will send the name of Nelson Rockefeller to the Congress of the United States for confirmation. Nelson?
Rockefeller, who had been considered one of the front runners for the number 2 job, praised what he called President Ford's openness and said he was looking forward to serving in the new administration.
It'll be my great honor to serve you, and through you, to serve all of the people of this great country. I'm optimistic about the long-term future. Thank you, sir.
Rockefeller said Mr. Ford first discussed the vice presidency with him last Saturday, but didn't inform him of a final decision until last night. Rockefeller said he did not know yet exactly what his duties as vice president would be. That, he said, would be determined by the president. The 66-year-old former governor indicated to reporters later that he might put his considerable assets into a trust while serving as vice president. He would not answer questions about his net worth, saying that was a matter that should be taken up before the Congress, which must still approve his nomination.
Initial reaction is generally favorable, and congressional leaders from both parties say they expect quick confirmation. House Speaker Carl Albert praised Rockefeller as one of the most experienced and capable men in the country. Republican National Chairman George Bush, himself considered a top contender, said the selection was outstanding. Senate Democratic leader Mike Mansfield denied rumors that Democrats might try to put off confirmation until after the November election. Iowa Governor Robert Ray praised the selection. Ray said he wanted a governor to be named and said Rockefeller should have good contact with the states. Ray said Rockefeller will provide great balance to the administration. In some other reaction from Iowans, Democratic Senator Dick Clark said that any choice would be controversial, and he hopes Congress makes a thorough investigation. He said he'll wait the results before taking a firm stand on Rockefeller's appointment. Iowa Republican Chairman John McDonald said he was delighted and cited Rockefeller's tremendous record at home and abroad. The stock market was up 10 points during the first hour of trading, but then settled down and dropped back. The New York stock market is slightly lower today in average trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average of 30 stocks is unchanged at 721.84. An average share of common stock is off 4 cents this noon. Midwest cattle prices are steady. On the interior Iowa hog market, butchers 50 to 75 cents lower, sows are steady. At mid-morning on the Chicago Board of Trade, September corn up 1/4, September soybeans off 4.5, and September wheat up 2. Draft evaders and military deserters are not very excited about President Ford's call for conditional amnesty with alternate service. A group of men who refused to serve in the Vietnam War appeared on the morning news today and were not impressed with Ford's plan. One of them represents a group living in Canada.
Speak for most everybody in need of an amnesty and saying that this is definitely not what we're looking for. I think Ford has pretty much rejected the notion of an amnesty, as a matter of fact, in his comments. He's indicated he wants to extract yet another pound of flesh from people who conscientiously resisted an illegal and immoral war, and we find this totally unacceptable.
What is unacceptable is that you would have to pay some penalty.
That's correct. And that's unacceptable in two ways. In principle, we fully believe in the correctness of our resistance to this war, and we continue to oppose it as it still continues. And in practice, I think that it's very difficult for people that have had their lives disrupted to the extent that we have to consider going back to the United States on terms which would mean yet further disruption, several years of alternative service.
The national commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars says he may request a congressional hearing into Ford's proposal. A new plan for the Ledges State Park. That story coming up next.
Today's woman knows how to care for herself. She bathes daily and uses bidet towelettes for her feminine hygiene deodorant because they do more than any spray or powder. Each specially lotioned cloth is like a handy little bath in a packet, a gentle, effective cleanser, plus a dependable feminine deodorant. Bidet's double action helps you feel clean, fresh, confident, anytime, anywhere. Let bidet towelettes help you to be the woman you want to be, always.
Howdy, Myrtle. You going after another blue ribbon for pickling this year? Got just the thing. New Heinz concentrated vinegar. You just add water to this quart and you got a whole gallon of Heinz vinegar. It's Heinz vinegar, Myrtle, only now it's concentrated. So Heinz doesn't cost any more than other gallon vinegars. Save me a jar of those beets you're putting out, you hear?
Governor Ray has outlined a plan to minimize flooding at the Ledges State Park when the Saylorville Dam is completed. The key element in the plan is to increase the amount of water released from impoundment during heavy periods of snow melting to prevent water from backing up into the lower ledges. The plan was developed by a special task force, and Ray says a committee should study the proposal further. Many environmental groups have been trying to find ways to protect the popular Ledges Park from what they fear will be irreparable damage caused by the dam.